Social Influence Part 2. My name is Gina Fike. This presentation is for Liberty University, Psych 512. The topics for discussion are as follow: conformity, obedience, social influence, groups, and negotiations. People have mixed feelings about conformity. On one hand, conformity is necessary in order to maintain communities and coexist peacefully. But on the other hand, there are times when conformity can have harmful consequences, such as when people drink too much at a party, cheat on taxes, or tell offensive jokes because others are doing it. According to a study by Carter Rees and Danielle Wallace, alcohol consumption among adolescents continues to be an issue in the United States. Conformity is one of the biggest reasons for this problem. Rees and Wallace's study indicate that even one non-drinker in a group of drinkers can lower the probability of alcohol use even when the in-group norm is pro-drinking. Why do people conform? There are two main reasons for people conforming: informational influence and normative influence. Informational influence is influence that produces conformity when a person believes others are correct in their judgment. People conform because they want to make good and accurate judgments, and they assume that if others are agreeing, they must be right. Normative influence is influence that produces conformity when a person fears the negative social consequences of appearing deviant. People conform because that fear of consequence of rejection that goes along with deviancy. In other words, they fear being disliked, rejected, ridiculed, and outright dismissed. There are two basic types of conformity: private and public. Private conformity, also called true acceptance or conversion, is the change of belief that occurs when a person privately accepts the position taken by others. This is when others cause us to change not only our overt behavior, but our minds as well. Public conformity, also known as compliance, is defined as a superficial change in overt behavior without a corresponding change of opinion that is produced by real or imagined group pressure. Public conformity is more of a superficial change in behavior caused by group pressure to agree even when privately you do not. There are several things that influence people to change, but one of the biggest is when people are asked to change by someone in authority, such as parents, teachers, employers, coaches, and government officials. Even the mere symbol of authority can bring about change, such as titles, uniforms, and badges. One form of obedience is blind obedience. Blind obedience is a behavior change produced by the commands of authority. During World War II, Nazi officials participated in the deaths of millions of Jews, as well as Poles, Russians, Gypsies, and homosexuals. When asked why, the only defense they had was, "I was following orders." In 1978, 900 members of the People's Temple cult obeyed a command from Reverend Jim Jones to kill themselves by drinking poison. One of the most famous psychological research programs ever conducted was Milgram's study of obedience to authority. In this study, participants were asked to administer volts of electricity from 15 volts up to 450 volts to other participants every time they answered a question incorrectly. 26 out of 40 participants delivered the ultimate punishment of 450 volts. What causes someone to have so much influence over another individual? One theory is the social impact theory. According to the social impact theory, social influence depends on the strength, immediacy, and the number of source persons related to the target person. The strength of the source is determined by his or her status, ability, or relationship to the target. The stronger the source, the greater the influence. Immediacy refers to a source in time and space to the target. The closer the source, the greater the impact. Finally, as the number of influences increase, so does the influences. What is a group? A group is a set of individuals who interact over time and have shared fate, goals, or identity. A group consists of people who have joint membership in a social category based on sex, race, or other attributes. There are three key features of groups: roles, norms, and cohesiveness. Roles refer to people's roles in a group or their set of expected behaviors. These roles can be formal or informal and instrumental or expressive. Formal roles are roles designed by a title, such as teacher or student, president or vice president. Formal roles are less obvious but still just as powerful. Instrumental roles help the group achieve its task, and expressive roles provide emotional support and maintain morale. In addition to roles, groups also establish norms. Norms are rules of conduct for the members. Like roles, norms can be formal or informal. Cohesiveness refers to group cohesiveness, which is the extent to which forces push group members closer together, such as through feelings of intimacy, unity, and commitment to group goals. When a group is cohesive, group performance often improves, and when group perform well, they often become more cohesive. Negotiation is most often thought to be a 50-50 compromise in which each side gives up something in order to gain something. But what if there was a way in which both sides gain without losing? This type of compromise is known as integrative agreement. An integrative agreement is a negotiated resolution to a conflict in which all parties obtain outcomes that are superior to what they would have attained from an equal division of the contest resources. An example of integrative agreement is the tale of two sisters and the orange. One sister wanted the orange to make orange juice, and the other wanted the orange peel to make a cake. The sisters cut the orange in half and each used their half to make what they wanted. Little did they know that if they had used integrative agreement, they would have each gained more than 50%. Thank you very much for viewing my presentation, and may God bless.